Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. Remember how on Sunday I talked about Winston Smith, who was basically gunned down by a police death squad in Minneapolis, and there have been protests as a result of that? I unfortunately have a very depressing and infuriating update. A woman was killed after a driver slammed into these protests. A driver in a Jeep Cherokee revved at the end of a street and plowed into her car because her car was one of a protective barrier around protests, because that's sadly fucking necessary in the United States these days. And I'll remind you, there are Republicans who are trying to make it so that, if you drive through protests, that's perfectly okay, because Republicans are monsters. So her car was protecting a group of protesters on Sunday night when this utter contemptible asshole rammed into her car, killing her. And this woman, 31-year-old Deona Marie Erickson, was like a day or two shy of her birthday. She leaves behind 2 children. And so the driver, 35-year-old Nicholas David Krause from St. Paul, has been charged with vehicular homicide, giving police false information, and driving with a suspended license. Krause's license had previously been suspended because of numerous charges of driving while impaired. According to witnesses, the driver revved his engine from a few blocks away, continued to gain speed, and revved the engine again before the fatal collision. He then got out of his vehicle and tried to run. And then when an activist and protester at this protest in Minneapolis had actually detained the driver and tried to turn him over to police, the police greeted him and other protesters with tear gas as they attempted to disperse them. They answered a serious situation with tear gas and riot gear instead of an ambulance and EMTs. It is so clear. Fuck 12. A woman is dead and she leaves behind 2 orphans. All because some bastard with an expired license decided to maliciously hurt people. And he falsified and lied to police. And when activists did the cops' job for them, they were rewarded with tear gas. ACAB, man, honestly. And this was all in protest of a police death squad murdering a man in broad daylight in a parking garage, where they also lied to people saying, he totally produced a gun and he was a suspect in like a case and he matched a description. And that turned out to be not fucking true. This just touches on so many problems in America right now. And I am so sick to death of having to hear this story time and time again of protesters being killed and injured by 6 sadistic bastards in cars. And I am tired of Republicans protecting these people. And I am tired of the cops also protecting these people and greeting those who are doing their jobs freely for them. And they are greeting these people with violence and disrespect. There is no need for the cops if the activists are already clearly having to do their own job and save lives. This is unacceptable, or at least it should be. And unfortunately, Minneapolis, the spiritual birthplace of the BLM movement for the past year, and said that they were defunding the police, they still haven't, and this continues to happen. What a grim and terrible reminder of how much work needs to be done and how completely useless and ineffective and also downright violent and reprehensible and terrible the cops are. The fact that this continues is absolutely what's bothering me today.